Hi everyone, today we will talk about my favorite investment, Tesla. I will share with you my stock price target for 2021, my analysis, my technical analysis, as well as the reason why I will buy Tesla every time there's a dip. 2020 was unprecedented for Tesla with a S&P 500 inclusion and a 5-to-1 stock split within a few months of each other. The stock has run up a lot, but that was just the beginning for Tesla. I definitely am excited. I strongly believe in this company, and I want to share that with you guys today. As usual, this is only my opinion, my own analysis. There's no guarantee that I am correct, so please do your own research. And let's get right into it. So what's interesting to me is that the media keeps saying Tesla stock had run up 700% in 2020 and asking whether the stock could continue to run again in 2021. What they're missing is that a 1 year run of 700% was impressive, but so what? 2020 was just the beginning for Tesla. They should really understand this by now. I strongly believe the stock will continue its momentum as Tesla and Elon continue to execute their plan, which I have no doubt that they will. So let's take a look at the various events for 2021 here. These are the events that we know with a certain degree of certainty, such as the quarterly earnings, the quarterly production delivery. We know that they would usually be given around January, April, July, and October. In addition, we will see the substantial completion of the 2 Gigafactory and the production and delivery of Cybertruck. So these shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. Well, maybe it could be a surprise to the Wall Street analysts, who knows. But there are a couple of things that I want to point out as well. First is 2021 guidance. This is a very important piece of information that would be announced hopefully on January 27th when the company announces Q4 earnings. I project that Tesla will deliver 810 vehicles in 2021. I know some of you will say that this is a sandbag number, especially the bulls out there. I'm aware that the installed capacity for Shanghai and Fremont alone could get to this number without Berlin and Austin. But we do have to leave cushion for line downtime, maintenance, regulatory shutdown, as we know in the past, and unexpected logistical difficulties in delivery vehicles. This number is fairly realistic in my opinion, but it is not a no-brainer by any means. We really need to execute right. This will go into my fundamental analysis later in this video, so stick around for more important details at the end. The next one is Model Y commencement of delivery in China. This number could substantially increase in the next few weeks and few months, and it would be a key contributor to Tesla 2021 total delivery. The next piece of information I would say is Model Y 7-seat will start delivery in 4 to 6 weeks. This will open up Tesla to an entirely different market segment, which is family with children, which could arguably increase Tesla customer base. I think the 7-seat Model Y is a great crossover between a sedan, an SUV, and a minivan. Even though I don't foresee Tesla launching an electric minivan anytime soon, I think the 7-seat Model Y is a great replacement for that, and it will garner a lot of support from moms and families with children. In March, besides the release of Model S X refresh, we should see the substantial completion of Giga Berlin toward the end of the month, with first sellable vehicles around June 2021. For reference, it took Tesla 168 working days, which was roughly 8.4 months, to complete Giga Shanghai construction from December 18, starting construction to August 19, substantial completion, and begin producing the first vehicles 2 months after that in October 2019. I'm aware of the regulatory difference between the two countries, China and Germany, but for purposes of general estimates, I think this is pretty close. Additionally, using the same deduction, we can expect Giga Austin substantial completion around May 2021, with the first vehicles rolling off the floor in July-August timeframe. Another YouTube channel, Tesla Daily Podcast, did release a document detailing Tesla's substantial completion timeline for Giga Austin. It was in line with the May 2021 estimate as well. The interesting part about Giga Austin is that it will be home to the Cybertruck, and we should start seeing photo of the Cybertruck as production ramps up in Austin. In September, we should start seeing the delivery of the Cybertruck, dual motor and tri-motor all-wheel drive. We should also get some confirmation about the delivery timeframe for the Semi, with the possible delivery date for the end of the year. And last but not least is level 5 full self-driving sometime in the year, probably toward the end of the year. I expect Tesla to have the full level 5 full self-driving version, as Elon confirmed at a recent interview with Axel Springer. And of course, with all 3 Gigafactories continue to ramp up throughout the year, and especially the second half of the year, this should lead to many analyst upgrade and price target increase for Tesla, which could potentially be catalyst for the stock as well. Events that may take place in the year, I call them wildcards because they're not certain, although in reality they're not that wild if you've been following Tesla for a while. So in a recent reply tweet to Navani Kumar, Elon alluded to the fact that Tesla might have its AI day later this year. We also might see some announcement related to the partnership with the Indonesian government or private entity about nickel mining. If you recall, Elon encouraged nickel miners and suppliers to work with Tesla in a recent quarterly earning. With Indonesia being the largest nickel supply in the world, the rumors that Tesla would be teaming up with Indonesia seems to have a rational basis, as nickel is an essential chemistry in Tesla new battery production. Tesla may also come to India. It formed an entity in India on January 8, 2021, named Tesla India Motors and Energy Private Limited. Not sure if this is a full-blown manufacturing facility or a sales distribution office or an R&D center, but Elon did say that Tesla would come to India in 2021 and for sure in 2022. So India is very much in the work, evidence in this entity formation. Will there be a Company X announcement in 2021? I think this is a novel idea, but it's not very likely. Planning a holding company with various business segments under it is very time consuming and complex. There are tax ramifications, and when you add that with international expansion, the restructuring becomes very complex. Elon did like the idea on Twitter though, but perhaps it is for his own personal holding company as opposed to a conglomerate that holds Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and the Boring Company, as we've seen in various suggestions and speculation. I do think, however, that Tesla will likely to have another Gigafactory announcement in 2021 with construction in 2022. Given the increase in global demand for EV, the issue now is supply, which requires more Gigafactory. Delivering a car is not the same as delivering a laptop or a phone. It requires a lot more time and logistical arrangement. As such, I think that the closer Tesla is located to its customer base, the better. In this case, its customer base is growing across the country, so having an additional Giga in the East Coast or Midwest seems to be rational, since it's already have one in the West Coast in the central part of America. Lastly, there's always a chance for another equity raise as Tesla market cap increases. It has become a lot cheaper to raise capital. Another $5 billion raise is not going to be an issue. We saw the stock shook off the last $5 billion raise. After all, Tesla's roadmap to deliver 20 million vehicles in 2030 requires a lot more capacity and therefore a lot more gigafactories. So I do believe that another announcement could be due soon. So let's talk about Tesla financial projection for 2021. Once again, this is my own projection. There's no guarantee that I am correct here, but it is something that I've done. I put a lot of thoughts in and I looked at it a number of different ways. So I hope that it provides some sort of reference for you guys. I anticipate that Tesla would deliver 810 vehicles at the average selling price of $51,500. The margin, the gross margin is 21% in my base case. 810,000 vehicles take into account the increased capacity in Fremont, Shanghai's increased capacity for Model 3, and the ramp up production for Model Y. At the same time, the vehicles producing out of Berlin and Austin in the back half of 2021 are also taken into account, even though the quantity is a lot lower than Fremont and Shanghai. 51,500 average selling price is significantly lower than historical quarters, which was around 54,000 to 57,000 in 2020. But this number is realistic because as more vehicles are produced in a more modern and efficient gigafactories, we should see cost reduction passed on to customers in the form of price reduction. Tesla has done this in the past. So my projection is both conservative and taking into account the various scenarios where Elon would lower prices at the end of quarters to encourage sales and discourage competition. Gross margin projected at 21%, which is fairly conservative in my opinion. This number is generally expected to rise over time because Tesla would gain efficiency, thereby lowering costs and increasing gross margin. However, for 2021, with the ramp up of the 2 gigafactories and additional depreciation, I project that depreciation would hurt this number, so I put that at 21% instead. Keep in mind that depreciation would start as soon as the first saleable vehicle is produced, but in the first few months, while depreciation is straight line, the vehicles are just ramping up, so it would not have produced as many vehicles as it should at full ramped up. Lastly, I put the PE ratio at 400. Note that as of the market close on January 19, the PE ratio is over 1600. I lower that to 400, which is only a quarter of today's stock price. Today's PE ratio, I mean. For reference, Amazon PE ratio was 91 as of January 18. Square was 345 and Shopify was 725. So Tesla should fall somewhere in between there. It definitely has more growth trajectory in my opinion compared to Amazon, and so 400 seems to be conservative enough. So with the number of vehicle delivered, which is fairly conservative, the average selling price is conservative, the gross margin is substantially lower than other quarter, which is also very conservative. I'm looking at the price target for Tesla in the base case of $1,176. Even if that gross margin is lower to 20%, the stock price should still be above $1,100. I don't think 19 and 18% gross margin is realistic. And I think the average selling price could also be slightly higher than what I'm estimating here. So in a very conservative scenario, Tesla should reach 1.1 trillion by the end of the year. This gives me a lot of hope in Tesla execution. I've seen this being done in 2020 and 2019, and I have full faith in the company and Elon to make this happen. So for that reason, I personally will buy every dip in the stock. I hope that you find this analysis helpful, but make sure you do your own research and only look at this as a point of reference and don't rely on it 100%. minutes to talk about technical analysis here. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because I would lose my audience really quick here. But what we're seeing is a bull flag on the daily with Tesla. The upper end of the bull flag is 884, which was the all-time high. The low end was 804. As long as Tesla move around these two target 884 and 804, the bull flag is still intact, but the first price target is $972 and the second price target is $1,052. For the stock to break out of the bull flag and hit the first price target, it needs some sort of catalyst. And for now, we had a list of different catalysts, and any one of that could propel the stock further. This does not necessarily signify any sort of long-term investment in Tesla. This is just to give me a little bit of perspective from a technical standpoint, and slightly in line with the target that I analyzed earlier. So once again, I will continue to buy every dip given the technical analysis and the fundamental analysis and the projection that I just did. So this is it for this video. Thank you very much for your attention thus far. Please consider subscribing to my channel and give me a thumbs up for this video. That would mean a lot to me. If you would like to see more video about Tesla or any other company, please comment down below. Even though Tesla is my favorite investment, I do have a lot of other investment as well, and I'd love to share my experience with you guys. Until then, bye.